Something tells me this is no mere adventure story.
Clive! Rutherford informs me that we owe you our thanks. Hadn't intended for you.
I would have done the same.
You're far too modest, Clive. You'd make a terrible noble.
From what little I saw.
But I was rather hoping the great and good of... Alas, it seems that firm leadership is in short supply. We must move.
But where do we
True. The challenges that face us are met. The realm's army, as you've seen firsthand, certain cities have banded together to try and yet, the only remedy for the chaos that faces us is, in short, if storm...
But how would one even begin?
The armies, my boy. As I told you already, we begin... Sadly, I doubt I could convince even the lowliest, but I do know someone the High Commanders have been known to listen...
I thought he was...
He was, until an Akashic army tore through Randalar and killed most of the rank and file. And as luck would have it...
Of course, yeah.
And he's agreed to help. Havel has always been a man of frustratingly rigid... I could, of course, but the old goat was adamant that he don't mind...
Of course not. As long as chaos reigns, we will never... And if the Field Marshal wishes to speak with...
That's the...
I'll leave for Randall. Would you send a stoat?
Of course. Rutherford is...
Say what you... Oh, Lady Karen has seen her...
Pining for something, boy. What is it? What do you see out there? I never did ask where you got that anklet of yours.
From Sid, that's why.
That long?
And you're only thinking to ask this now? Clap that there iron on him to keep him...
What was wrong, Bob?
I'll take like as not. Must have been doubly hard him being a frost wolf. Sid would always tell him, you want that iron gone? I reckon what he will...
I'm sorry, Talk. Sorry for making... Let's get that... Indeed, you miss Sid as much as the... You want me to go with you somewhere?
Quick, aren't you? Glad...
Not nearly as much as...
Aye, good thing and all.
Your kindness is appreciated.
Only because he doesn't talk back like the rest.
Where to, then?
What do you think happened to Miss Smith?
Sid!
With what? You didn't take a part in of...
No!
It's Miss Midadol. Very.
When she is, she acts like we aren't even...
In the class.
That's what I...
Well, she does have a lot on her mind.
Not long ago.
Then it's probably just about the Enterprise.
You didn't break it, did you, Sid? Oh, don't listen to her.
But who's gonna put Miss Midadol back together?
Why don't I go?
You do that. She's in her...
Don't scare it.
Thanks for the warning.
crystals certainly didn't do well. Just think of all...
Mid.
That's it! I knew it! If this doesn't steer to the skies, nothing...
To the sky? You aren't trying to give the
What else would I...
The children seem to think you're avoiding them. Is this really so important that you...
The Enterprise is already the fastest shipping. But what if she weren't bound to the waves? It's not fair. The gods get the skies all to themselves. The Fallen had their chance. But they relied too much on but not me. Well,
And is that a one...
Are you volunteering? But if her godfather's offering to lend her, first I'll need oil, and not just some old drippings from Miss Molly's spits in the Tub and Crown. Refined. Then I'll need some bone, or shell. Light.
If it's beast bones you're after.
No, they'll know where you might find some. You're the one...
I should speak with one of the curse breakers before I set off for Old Hill. See if I can't find this bone while I'm there as well.
Has Midadol mentioned a new project yet?
Not exactly.
What should I write next?
A love story, perhaps? But with a happy ending, of course.
So, there's a new mother.
Do you suppose it's magic keeping the thing afloat?
What else could it be?
I will not let them be forgotten. Sid,
Of course.
it is an honor to... My name is Herman. I wish to be...
No. The lands across the Narrow are too dangerous. I will not send good men and women. Why would you want to go?
I need to retrieve... I was raised... Or rather, it was not a place of nurture. We were tortured. Until we feared, and few ever survived long.
I can't imagine.
I lost some...
Sid. Too dangerous for you. I'll go to Bud.
You will?
I won't let you...
I don't...
You can start by telling me...
Thee the grace.
All right.
May them...
All right, Sid. Come to buy us around, have you?
Only if you... Mid needs a piece of light but durable bone for her next project. You've encountered your share of beasts on your travels across the realm. Any ideas?
Most bones are the same. Whack 'em. If it's durability you're looking for...
I do. Well, any old...
Well, with shells, the older the... But don't expect...
I'll keep that in mind. Vivian, and I'll be happy to help you find the book you're looking for.
Thank you, Cla. But, track...
Please. It's only right that I would...
You are... Alas, what I spoke... But...
If you say so.
Forgive... But this book... It set me on the path to becoming who I am. Back again? Allow me to educate you. One must understand one's place in the world.
Sid, I was wondering if you could help me.
It depends what...
A bearer. but recently freed from his bond. As you know, the work we do is not easy, which is why we
I don't mind, but...
Because our ranks are filled with men and women capable of breaking but scouting. We're few with the nose for that, which is... And since he accompanies you on so many of your missions, I thought you might be better...
Sounds reasonable.
So you're happy to oversee the...
One can never...
True word. I'll let the initiate know that, and that he is to proceed directly to North...
No time like the...
No time like the present.
Northreach. I don't suppose they could have chosen somewhere closer.
Sid, do you have a moment?
By all means.
It's my old master. Seems there's no escaping her. And something else.
How did she come?
Finding bearers, and it seems the cells of Balmung Dark are full of them. And even better for her.
Leaving the bearers to be liberated.
Sid, I'd like to believe, and while I'm well aware that I can't let those bearers...
We'll be needing the Enterprise.
Does that...
I'm making an exception. We stay no longer than we have to. Ash is an inhospitable place.
Thank you, Sid. Chadwick. Another of my former masters, the thought of him helped.
He must be very important.
He was.
Then we find him.
The entrance to the prison lies in the... We should head there as quickly.
As do I.
Ah, Clive.
Joshua, what?
I've received word from Cyril. The Undying have found Father's will, or something akin to it.
His will? How? Where?
In the crypt, beneath Rosalith Castle. After Kupka was kind enough to drive out the Imperials, the Undying took the opportunity to recover what relics of the Duchy yet remained. And in the process of doing so, they found a letter from Father.
I'm surprised anything survived down there.
Cyril asked that I join him in Tabor at my convenience. I have been meaning to go, but... Would you join me?
Of course. I want to know what's in that letter.
Very well.
All right, Torgal. Where are you taking me? I'm going to need a little bit more than that, boy. Do you have a better hint for me? Unless... you've already given me one. Back on the rear deck, you were looking west. Toward Rosaria. Why don't we try the rookery? To Port Isolde. Fingers crossed the old mooring.
Ah, Clive, my boy. What a pleasure it is to see you.
Harpocrates. There's something I need to ask you. I've been charged with locating a book called From a Distance.
Then you seek a rare gem indeed. One whose name I had not thought to hear from your lips.
Right as always. She didn't seem keen to tell...
And yet I gather... Clive, if I fear she asks the impossible.
The Executor.
Coveters, a clandestine organization committed to the collection. One such text being the tome Vivian seeks. A tale which could overturn the established order, or so rumor has it.
How is it that I haven't heard of this?
Why? Secrecy is the exact... They lurk in the shadows, emerging only to seize that which must be seized, be it books, inventions...
Which would explain why Vivian's copy was snatched from her grasp not long after she found it.
By the hand of the executors, yes.
But what drives them? Self-interest or ideology?
Fine question. Sadly, all that is known of the executors can be recounted in a single breath. You may just as soon ask me of their origins, numbers, or the identities of their leaders. Any answer I give would be pure speculation.
Then my hunt was doomed from the first. What was Vivian expecting? That I'd pluck it from thin air?
Not from thin air, no. From ash. Rumors of the executors are rife among the scholars of Storm, but rather less so across the strait. I have a friend. Well, I had a friend. Alas, I have heard no, but though he did not mention it by name, it is possible that a surviving copy of From a Distance yet rests upon one of his many shelves, quietly awaiting discovery. If you were, by some chance, able to say...
Very well. I'll be sure to pay gut.
Here to help me pack? Thanks, but I'll be traveling.
You're really going to go?
I am, but before I go...
If it's within my...
It's the children. And if I leave them here, they surely will. Our friendship would see... I can think of only one place where they are certain...
Of course.
Thank you, Clive.
Lubor!
What is it, Ferda?
There's been a flood in the Veld. The League of Outlaws encampment was complete.
What?
Every last one of the bastards has...
Bandits are one thing, but Akashic bandits... We need to evacuate. Ferda, gather that the Akashic may strike at any moment. Well?
Yes, my lord.
Clive, the children stay with me for now. And tell them to prepare for a full...
Understood.
I'll do what I can to convince everyone.
Your Grace?
Cyril.
Yes. If you would do us the honor, my lord.
An inheritance.
It would seem the late Archduke penned this missive shortly before...
The day before we left for...
What are these...
His plans for the duchy, Your Grace. Your father entrusted them to my predecessor, the former bearer of the Burning Quill, who entrusted them in turn to me. The complete emancipation of bearers is their stated aim. But your father's dream did not end there. His Grace also, with the blight spreading ever more widely across the twins.
He wished to see men and bearers treated as equal. Small wonder he did not think it achievable.
But he thought it achievable nonetheless. Nor would he have entrusted those who would have stood with you.
It's a pity only...
'Tis true that those most loyal, but one at least remain.
What do you mean?
Mayhap it is better that, after all, the duties entrusted to me by my predecessor extended only to recovering His Grace's will.
And where is...
She awaits you in the...
Thank you, Cyril. Shall we then?
Lord Marquis?
What is it?
One of our brethren lately journeyed across. He sent an owl.
Was he surveying?
No. An ancient religion that, by gaining an understanding of this...
And so you sent one of your brothers to Ash?
Fully. I entrusted the mission to one of the most able of our order, though he has been silent for some days now. Yet, it seemed only right, for as you so earnestly advised...
But Ash is a big place.
Perhaps. The last owl I read, Mickleburg was it. It lies in the southern... If aught ill befell...
Right.
You are go then, with my hopes. And may the firebird's flame ever burn in your heart.
Nazaire might at least have mentioned where in Northreach he'd be testing this recruit.
Sentries from the market. Do you see anything you like? You've a keen eye. An excellent choice.
I would speak with this Duke.
Saw the captain just now.
Wasn't wearing his uniform. Because he handed it in.
Your town needs you. I need you.
But the Duke would have me.
Do you have a moment?
What is it?
It's the Duke, unsurprisingly. His Eminence has assumed full control of the garrison. The town was left all but unguarded. So Philippe was compelled to fall. And though my dear boys have been characteristically willing, so I was wondering if you would lend them your strength.
Of course.
Thank you, Clive. Philippe told me he...
Where can I find the mistress of this establishment?
Here, my lady. To whom do I have the pleasure of speaking?
My name is Sabine, and it is my displeasure to be the daughter of the Duke of Oriflamme. I wish to speak to you.
Very well. I trust you'll forgive.
Absolutely.
Please.
As you know, my father is a most overbearing and supercilious man. Indeed, for continuing to argue, yet I fear he is not. He must be made to face.
And who?
I would. Were you to join us, we would surely have the strength.
Does that not seem...
Drastic action is precisely what is called for. My father would have it that citizens exist only to serve the Empire.
But he is wrong. It is not the people.
Scornful of the opinions of any, but he cannot be allowed to ride roughshod. We must
fight him. No. Respectfully, my lady. Our only chance of saving this town depends upon... While I understand your frustrations,
False hope. But I see that your mind is made up. If you will extend me, I bid you good day.
She certainly has.
Indeed. Which may be enough to seal the fate of this town. This is all about her.
Family.
I'm sorry. Yes. But perhaps it's better that you heard them from him.
Right away.
It's just a pity I cannot join you.
It's still here. After all these years. Lots more than I remember. And you're a lot bigger. You might have to swim, boy.
You two go. I doubt that, but...
If you're sure, hop in, boy. This place hasn't changed at all. The rookery's right through those trees. Come on. Race you there? I bet I could still beat you. Here we are. This was our hideaway. Wasn't it, Torgal? Coming here helped me to forget who I was. Or wasn't. Prince, shield. Son his mother could love. Had I been any one of those things? Perhaps. What is it, boy? This is all from the castle. And Phoenix Gate. Did you bring these here? My sparring sword. Well. You never stopped looking for me, did you, boy? Thank you, Torgal. For never giving up. For never forgetting. Let's take this with us, shall we? So I don't forget either. That's not the way back to the boat, Torgal. All right. I'm coming. That feel good, boy. I think I know where we're going. People always talk about the importance of putting the past behind you. But without it, we wouldn't be who we are today. And we certainly couldn't steer our way to a better tomorrow. Come on, Torgal. Let's go home. Sorry for the wait. We're ready. It's oil. After what happened. Yeah. It's a miracle there was any left at all. This should be enough.
How do? There you go. Much obliged. Thanks very much. Much obliged. That all, is it? We'd have our coin, our stock and our stores, and we're just...
So you are content to abandon... Please, I beseech you. If you are a true son of Northreach, you must fight to defend your home.
That's exactly what I am doing, milady. Or trying to, at least. The land is crawling with fiends, and someone has to keep watch.
Even when our true enemy is hiding in the garrison? Fine. You're not the only able-bodied man in Northreach. Thank you so much for your help.
She cornered you too, then?
Could hardly get a word in edgeways. Like father, like daughter, eh?
She made an uninvited appearance at the Vale earlier, hoping to convince the Dame to join her in fomenting rebellion.
I bet that went well. Her ladyship seems to have a way with people. Anyway, what brings you here?
Our mutual friend thought you might welcome some help.
Oh, she did she? Right as always. In fact, you're just the man. We've had some reports, you see. Sightings of, you know what.
They're back.
Seems that way. All over, too. We haven't been able to confirm anything yet, but if you're willing, you could go and see what's what.
Right. Where should I look?
You know Grieger's Weep? One of the sightings places them somewhere on its shores.
I'm on my way.
Thank you, Clive. I'll look into one of the other sightings. Let's rendezvous back here later.
We'd have our coin, our stock and our schools, and we're just supposed to hand the old lot over?
What other choice do we have?
I'm nervous.
Well met, Sid.
At your service, Master.
Please, just Sid. There are no masters here. Your life is your own.
Oh, of course. Thank you, Sid. The sergeant says you'll be evaluating me at my trial.
To become a scout, yes. You are aware of the dangers inherent in that role.
I am. But I swore I'd face them. Just like the man who saved my life.
And who would that be?
Gav. It was him who found me and freed me. No magic, no support, just one man and his nose. Came and sniffed me out. It taught me what one man can do if he puts his mind to it. And I've been training ever since, so that one day I can be someone's saviour, just like Gav was mine.
I'm sure he'd be flattered. You clearly have good intentions, Ember. And it sounds like you're under no illusions. Stick to this path and you'll make a fine cursebreaker.
So, what? Have I passed?
You haven't even started yet. Now listen. Not far from here is an Imperial lookout, Eastwatch. The guards there record all their sightings in a logbook. You are to find it and bring it here.
And bring it here, right. Anything else?
No. Sneaking into a heavily guarded Imperial outpost and stealing the logbook would be quite sufficient. You'll need to assess the situation, determine a point of entry, create a distraction and effect an escape, all without being discovered and thrown into an Imperial oubliette.
Ember, Gav isn't our best scout because he can do everything. It's essential that you know your limits.
Know my limits, right. I won't let you down.
It shouldn't be as dangerous as I made out. But keep a weather eye on him all the same, would you?
On my way. All right, Ember. Impress me. Damn it. The reports were true. I need to stop them before they get to the town. Call that a test, Ultima?
Clive, it's me. Are you all right?
I am. But it seems the reports were true. The thralls have returned. I dispatched the few that I found, though.
Well, there's something, I suppose. But what were they doing south of town? They all came from the north last time. We might be able to fend off an attack from one side or the other, but from both?
Do you have eyes in the north?
Some. I should probably go and have a look, though, just to be sure. You head back to Northreach. I want you there just in case war breaks out while I'm away.
What do you mean?
Her ladyship's been busy working her magic on the townspeople, stirring up ill feeling towards her father. She'll have her marching on the barracks if we're not careful.
What? This is exactly what the Dane was afraid of. I'll do what I can to calm things down. Be careful out there, all right?
Don't worry, I'm not like you. One sniff of those things and I'm running back to town screaming blue murder.
Do you not see, Father? The people of Northreach have given enough, and only a fool would ask for more.
Listen to me, Sabine. Where would our people be without their country, hmm? The Empire is their sword and their shield. It is she that ensures they can live without fear. And now she teeters on the brink. Without their sword, how will the people fight? Without their shield, how will they protect their kin? Can the unarmed stand against the advancing hordes? No. But there is yet hope. A new shield, a new sword. A new empire. We can rebuild Sandbreck, just as Great Grieger wills it.
Perhaps we could, Father. But we don't want to. Not if it is built on the broken backs of the people.
Please, let us not quarrel in the street. You must see that no good will come of this. Our fight is not with each other, but with the threat that draws ever closer to our gates. A threat that your sword has yet to rid us of, Your Eminence.
You will hold your tongue, whore! You may have filled my daughter's head with your heresy, but I will not be corrupted.
Corrupted? Your daughter's opinions are her own, as you would know if you had ever deigned to listen to her. At least I hope they are your opinions, and not posturing born of a family feud. Northreach deserves better than that.
Northreach deserves better than you, Carla. Yes, I know who you are. The slut of Twinside who bedded a Brandit.
Jealous, are you? That a woman might choose a bearer over a pious man of Grieger.
Clive! I met a swarm of thralls coming south from Oriflamme. Hundreds of them. Too many to count.
No. Work on the fortifications has scarcely begun. We will retreat to Caer Norvent and there make our stand. Did you hear me? That was an order!
While this is but a heartfelt plea, let us make our stand here and protect our homes. Protect those that we love. Together, for Northreach!
You heard the dame. What are we waiting for? Pikemen to the gates. Archers to the roofs. Quickly, come on!
But she is but a common...
whore, yes. And we'd follow her to the gates of hell. The men have their orders, and they look like following them. I got them spaced out at regular intervals. Whichever direction the thralls strike from, there'll be someone there to meet them.
Thank you, Philippe. Rest assured, the people will play their part. The herbalist has donated her stock of medicines to me. Should any of your men be injured, take them to the Vale. We'll see to them there.
Thank you, my lady.
I'll play my... You still want for numbers? I only hope I can go some way to... Philippe, can I leave the south in your hands? I doubt the thralls by the lake were the last of their number.
Of course. I'll lead a party down that way so we don't get taken by surprise. What about you?
I'll make my way up the road to Oriflamme. I fought a few of these things. Well, I can't promise to hold them all back.
All right.
Thank you.
You can thank us when...
Till then, madame.
When the fighting begins...
There are so many of them.
Not for long. Is it over? No. It's only just begun. That looks to be the last of them. I wonder how the others fared. Better hurry back to town. Come on, Torgal.
Clive, it's good to see you.
And you. The road to Oriflamme is clear. How did you and your men fare?
Well, we ended up fighting for our lives down by the lake. Took a few nicks, but nothing the girls at the Vale can't put right.
Glad to hear it.
Well, it seems we've survived. For the time being, at least. I thank you both for answering the call.
Wait.
And I was wrong. About everything. I had thought that the only way to unite the people was under the banner of empire. That without a strong hand to guide them, they would drift apart, to be borne hither and yon by the eddying currents of fate. But you brought them together. Not by force, nor by the exercise of goddess-given authority, but by simply being one of them. By knowing what they feel, because you feel it yourself.
Our purpose was ever the same, Your Eminence. You were merely distracted by a loftier vision of empire and glory, while our eyes beheld matters closer to home.
You have the right of it again, as did you, Sabine. His radiance said it himself. Sanbreque is naught without her citizens. I forgot that, and I am sorry.
I'm sorry too, Father. I should never have taken things so far. I only wanted you to understand how the people felt. How I felt. But my anger...
Do not blame yourself, my dear. I should have listened.
Your Eminence, Your Ladyship, but I believe the same could... We all want safety, security, prosperity, and we may yet achieve it. Will you join us? Thank you, Your... Now that that is settled, I must go and see to the wounded. The Vales... And today there are more...
Madam Isabel is a rare... I see that it is not men like me who...
You're right.
Forgive me for saying so, my lady. The dame said it herself. And that goes for you. You're one of us.
One of you?
Well said, Captain.
Well, I should see if Isabel needs any help. How goes the treat? I'd be happy to man one end of a stretcher if it would help. Don't mention it.
Oh, but I must.
Tell me, if Northreach had fallen, what would you have done? But I sense you would rather have... For you, madame, I have...
I was Carla then. So sought after was I that it was only they. Alas, for naive as I fell in love. He was my master's guard. After they discovered us together, he was whipped bloody and forbidden, and so we fled. Not that we had anywhere to flee to. We wandered until we found us. It was the veil that fed us. Those that could be healed, at least.
He passed away.
He did. But at least we were able to share a few moments. It was the greatest. But the generosity of this town, the men and women of the Vales, though I was still a stranger to them. And so I swore that I would return the kind, that I would repay my debt.
Thank you, Isabel, for sharing this.
Perhaps that is why I have never stop for, and I shan't either. I know that it will not be easy to keep North. The people, the soldiers, all united in defense of this town. And what of you? Can we count on you?
Always. Ride the wind. These are clean kills. Perhaps young Ember really is... Or maybe not. Damn it. Ember, draw your sword!
I can't!
Then run! If you want him, you'll have to go through me. Ember, are you... Gone. Of course. Scouts really are a rare breed.
The garrison said they'd take another 100 in
I didn't... Where is Ember?
He must have fled. He was just standing there. Didn't even draw his sword. He was nowhere to be seen.
I knew the boy had a nervous streak.
The right man... I believe this is the log...
Don't you tell me you breached the tower while Sid...
What? To bring the thing back without getting...
He has you then, his heir.
But Sid...
He did what he thought was best.
Of course. Don't you leave...
Yes, Sergeant.
This won't be an easy decision.
Should have seen him. The thing didn't stand a chance.
Welcome back, Sid.
Welcome back, Sid.
Yes. Welcome back. Trip wasn't too much of a pain in the arse, I hope. Truth be told, it was me who suggested roping you in to help with the trial. But from what I hear, things didn't go quite as planned.
No, they most certainly did not. Ember lost his nerve in the face of a beast of prey, but he didn't lose heart. He pressed on, and he achieved his aim. And is that not what we ask of our scouts?
Indeed it is. Thank you for your honest appraisal, Sid. The fact remains, however, that Ember will not always have a battle-hardened warrior on hand to pluck him from the jaws of peril. All I have gleaned from this trial is that without someone watching his back, Ember is little more than a liability.
Wait, Sergeant. Ember still has much to learn, it's true. And this time he was found wanting. But I'd say he's due a second chance, nonetheless. After all, he did do as you asked.
With a bit of hard work, any hand can be made to hold a blade, and any mind can conquer its fears. But a scout's nose is different. You've either got one, or you ain't. And by sniffing out that log, young Ember here has shown he has a conch and a half. Wouldn't do to waste it now, would it?
Fine. One more chance.
I'll do whatever you ask. I'll spend my days and nights in the pit if I have to. I'll show you. Just you wait.
Daft as a brush, that one. But his heart's in the right place. Just like someone else we know. And if you ask me, we've been leaning on him for far too long. That time the curse breakers took some of the weight off his shoulders, I reckon.
It couldn't hurt.
Just don't tell Gav I said so, will you? I won't have him thinking he's been hard done by. Next thing you know, he'll be asking for a day off. Chance would be a fine thing. Back to work.
Forgive me, Sid. This did not play out as I expected.
Things rarely do these days. But that's why we need men like Ember more than ever. Men who can make the best out of a bad situation. Remember that.
I will, Sid. Thank you.
Oh, I wasn't expecting you back so soon. You earned this. All done? There's something about it. I feel like it's
You alright?
Something trouble.
It's just... Edda's baby.
I'm sure she'd like...
Back in the north, families would always make... let the little tykes know.
So?
Now, the problem is that Edda's due any...
Is there anything I... All right, then.
A good luck charm.
Not just then.
No. There's nought lucky in all the realm. Thing is, they're hard to come by.
Only the big day is fast approaching.
That or the bird whose oar sits attached to, aye. I was gonna...
Well, there's no shortage of the... I think I might make that my first port of call.
You're a good...
Let's hope one of the merchants here has what Gav needs. Excuse me, a silver
Oh, or maybe not. There was a man stopped by the rest not long near some gut most. Took him for a braggart and
We'll see.
We've got a few rooms going spare now. You want a bed for the night? Speak to Martha.
It doesn't still hurt, does it?
Oh, 1,000 Akashic jars couldn't hurt me.
Can I help? You wouldn't happen to sell stuff.
But if it's fancy...
Was a silver chocolate?
Oh, yes.
It wouldn't be the first.
Did you hear they're rebuilding Rosalith? I was thinking I might take my cart out that way, see how they're getting on.
Just because they have... They've gone to Rackaroon, it don't mean we have to.
What are you after? Take care out there, eh?
How do, traveller? You've the look of a man who could do with a new whetstone.
I'm looking for a silver chocolate.
If that's the case. Rumour, no one has seen a silver Word is, they were all hunted for their feathers. Some northern. If any are still out there, I reckon they'll be doing...
You're probably right. Thank you anyway. A silver chocobo sighted in the hills near...
Fly, Ambrosia.
Time to fight. Tracks. They're not left by bandits for a change. Straight home now. More tracks. The chocobo was here. I don't hear anything. be damned. It's all right. I'm not going to hurt you. Just borrowing a feather for my friend. Thank you. Let's get this back to Gav before they change their minds. Let's go.
Caution.
You deserve a rest.
It was no trouble.
Clive, you're back. How'd you get on? Any luck?
Any luck, you say?
Crystal's crack. Is this what I think it is? Where in the hell did you find it?
It's a long story.
Right there on the road to Eastpool. Who'd have thought it?
Everything up there's been abandoned for years. The empty cabin made for the perfect shelter. Though I fear my presence may have forced the poor creatures to look elsewhere.
Don't blame yourself, Clive. The Blight's right on Eastpool's doorstep. They'll find a new after all. Anyway, what matters is you, and now all that's...
I didn't know you could...
Reckon that's like the fact I'm as good with a whittling knife, and that bone Ember gave me's a dream to work with.
What did... But it weren't your rate. I slew one of my own.
So all those long nights in the pit finally bore fruit.
Don't speak too soon.
There we go. What do you think?
I think if you ever hang up your scouting cap, you'll be able to make an honest living.
Now, come on.
Me lords.
How are you feeling?
Well, thank you. Is something wrong?
Wrong? No, nothing like that. What it is...
Go on, please. Did you make...
We did. It's from all of... It's a good luck charm. I mean, a baby. Oh,
I thank you.
If there's anything you need.
I will.
Fancy a swift?
I could be convinced. Don't you think you've had enough?
No, we're celebrating. I'm gonna be a father.
I think Edda might have something to say about that.
You know what I mean. Bit of light in these dark times. Wasn't long after me 10th name day. My mum told us she was with child again. I was over the fucking moon. I was looking forward to having a little one to lord it over, what with me being the runt of the litter. Thought I'd finally have a chance to prove to the world that I could be a big brother. Imperials came the day she went into labour. Had myself a baby sister. And then I didn't. Me whole family gone in a blink, while I hid in the cellar like the spineless little arsehole I was. Great brother I turned out to be. I'll never be a leader. And I'll never be a hero. I'm just a daft little dog who comes running when his master calls. be like you, or Sid, or Jill, or even Torgal.
Have you finished?
Maybe.
Do you know why you're our best scout? Because you don't need anyone to hold your hand. Without your resourcefulness, your courage, your determination, I don't know where we'd be. Maybe hanging off a cliff like,
That was only the once.
Exactly. You learned from it. And here you are, after Founder knows how many missions, stronger for everyone. And let's not forget Rosalith. Who was it who freed me from the dungeon? Who was it who ran to Jill's rescue?
That would be me.
Because you're our brother, Gav. My brother.
Your brother.
Which means that when the time comes,
I get your room. And your sword. I may have had one too many.
you may have had 10 too many.
I said I was thirsty. Better get back to work anyway, after I walk this off. Clive?
What is it?
Thanks for...
I know.
Do you think they'll come?
To madness on your knees.
He doesn't look like he's willing to listen.
live.
Damn it. Dion would have been glad to have you back at his side.
And how might I help? Garrison today.
Those things didn't fight like men. We're to be ready for them next time.
Good girl.
What do I owe the honor? Not saying Fordian, do you? No scratches, all right? Not bad, if I do say so myself. Anything else?
You have to listen to me. They're coming. You need to evacuate. Know your place, bearer. How long do we have until these Akashic arrive?
Ah, it's you.
What do you want?
To pass on an imp. There's been an ether flood. The camp where the so-called League of Outlaws were gathered. They're no longer just bandits. You need to begin preparing for a...
Oh, do we? And...
Lubor, perhaps? The man you may believe his lie.
But why would he lie about something?
Some twisted it. If he had not been unmasked, he may well... A great honor for one he might well...
Lord Underhill, forgive me, but Lubor cannot be trusted.
You may not trust me. If there is any
There isn't. Now be off with...
You're making a mistake.
Come, Clive. If our words will not move them, then we must find another way to help save the town.
You're right. Let's speak to Lord Ferda.
I think we'd better shut up.
What's Lubor raving about now?
Anything I can interest you in? An excellent choice. Here you are. Thank you for your custom.
Lord Ferda. Sid, what's wrong? I went to warn Conrad and Natalie. They've convinced themselves that nothing... A bloody... Which means the town guard can't be kept, but I can. You only have to... I appreciate...
Sid! Ferda!
Victor?
I couldn't abandon Blue Boys in need of this very...
You have to believe me! The Akashic are coming! They don't eat, they don't sleep, they don't tire, and they don't care who they kill. They're unlike anything that's come before. There won't be no parley, no mercy granted! We may have saved the town once, but this is different. I do not ask that you forgive me, but please believe. You will all fucking die!
You'd like that, wouldn't you, bearer?
Yeah, with us out of the way, your kind will be free to claim Dalamil for yourselves.
You should run!
Run, bearer!
Yeah, run!
Run!
Far, far away!
Run!
Just go on!
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes! Go!
Come on, then.
Go on! Go!
Just go. Just go.
Lubor. Wait. Someone's coming.
Go.
Come on.
Stop! You're hurting him! Ah! What did Lubor ever do to you? He solves all your stupid problems, and he keeps all of you safe. You know there's nothing he wouldn't do for this town. Who was it who made that cleaver you use every day, Conrad?
And what about your counting table, Natalie? Who fixed that?
Whose men make sure the streets are clean so all your boots don't get dirty?
Who spends all day, every day making sure things run smoothly round here? And none of you ever say thank you. Ever.
But did Lubor ever complain? Well, does he ever stop smiling?
He keeps this whole place going. And you act like it doesn't even exist.
Lubor, we've heard enough.
Wait!
We will not run. The town guard will not abandon the very place it is sworn to protect.
And I will not give up for lost the stores that we labored so hard to fill.
So tell us, how do you propose we deal with these Akashic of yours?
We won't run, but we will fight.
All right, then. Fine. Gather round if you don't want to die.
Allow me to explain the situation. The ether flood occurred near the village of Cheratina, deep in the Velcroy. The place had been abandoned for years, until the League of Outlaws decided to make it their base of operations. Now they're all turned, and if the scouts' reports are correct, heading in this direction.
They are mindless monsters, driven only by hate and rage. And they are utterly unpredictable. With the bandits, we at least knew how and where they were likely to attack. When these creatures come, Dalamil will have the bitterest fight it has ever faced on its hands. The town guard will muster at the north gate. The rest of us will take the south. Both forces will provide men to serve as scouts and messengers, ready to spread word of the size and nature of the Akashic force as soon as it is spotted. And as soon as it has been, we will converge on its position and see that it is driven back from Dalamil at all costs. Conrad, can I count on the support of the town guard?
Always.
I leave the selection and coordination of the messengers in your hands, Victor. And the command of our men in yours, Ferda. If you would both be so kind.
Consider it done.
As you wish.
Natalie, I would ask that you and your people have the townsfolk barricade themselves inside the bathhouse.
And tell the merchant not to waste time securing anything beside the essentials. As long as we survive, our riches can be regained. And
very well.
Where do I fit into?
Where else? But I would like you to travel to the home of our main host is most likely still there. And Dalamil will...
A little gardening?
I doubt it. I have a...
Luckily.
So you... All right then. Now it's simply...
Looks like everyone's ready. I'd better not keep them waiting.
There it is. The flood.
But what's waiting for us inside? Can't leave a single one alive. The League is disbanded. I should get back to Dap.
All the Akashic we were able to find have been dealt with. Seems that might be the last of them.
Last of them here, perhaps.
Lubor, Sir Clive has returned.
Clive!
It's done.
I knew...
Thank you,
Friends, the Horde has been... And we need not fear the victory.
We Lubor, after all you have done for this...
But we did. We only hope...
We need you, Lubor. So...
If you do remember...
We do. It is a stain on ours. We thought only of...
I see. But I will only accept your proposal on 2 conditions.
Name them.
Firstly, that you will both do everything in your power to rally your people to my cause. If the Town Guard and the Merchants League do not accept... Unity is the key to defending when that time comes.
Of course.
And you will accept that if I am to lead you, the mistreatment of bearers must end here. Any bearer within our walls shall be... They will not be judged by what they are, but who they are.
As we failed to do, and came so close to losing everything.
We agree to your conditions.
Conditioning? Well then, it seems my... How fickle fate can be. Not so long ago, and now, here.
Lubor, about the children.
Fear not, you are of course... I would sooner face another horde of Akashic than see... I'll make sure...
I don't doubt that you were, and not just the children.
Can't have all your...
I have some things for sale. Certainly. Thank you. Go safely now.
Ready, go?
This won't be easy. Here we are again. Carava. If you were a tortoise, Torgor, where would you hide? Straight home now. Looks like we found him. materials to mid. So she can finish her prototype.
Well met. Many thanks. May Gilbert smile upon you.
Do you see that too?
Papa?
What is it? Oh, please, just make it stop. I'm scared.
It's all right.
Let's go. Can't be Rutherford, can it?
Turncoats and cowards, the lot of you! If it's a fight you want, it's a fight you shall have!
Allow me.
I don't need your...
Please, Field Marshal, oblige him.
This won't take long.
You're right. It won't. Men, finish him.
A little longer than I'd have liked. Field Marshal, are either of you...
No, my lord.
Fucking traitors. I'd heard... But I hadn't thought the corruption... It's a fuck... You're interfering, old bastard of an uncle, my lord. Or is Sid the outlaw...
Call me what you want. It doesn't change all the urgency of the message I bring. What?
Before I agree... I'd have you answer, what do you...
I won't deny that I might benefit from it. I seek a new beginning. And while the choices I've made may not all... I know. So long. So many of us, when it should have been our decision all along. But in order to take it, we must stand together. Even if it be beside those with whom we don't see eye to eye.
Certainly not the words I expected from... You are... I never hear the... All right. I'll start by ordering. Next, I'll make contact with my counterparts in the Imperial Army and see if I can't convince them to try and...
Thank you, Field.
But they are not the only...
What do you mean?
I don't doubt that I can bully some sense into a few generals.
But those they answer to require a different kind of persuasion. And when it comes to hunt, we will need an envoy. One who can court...
I'm flattered, and I have other What we need is a skilled arbitrator.
Is that so? And would he...
Of a different kind.
I suppose we'll all have to find a little of the outlaw in ourselves if we're to make it through this.
I shall.
My Lord Marquis. Your Lord Uncle bade me escort the Field Marshal to his manor in Port Isolde.
And I will see that my associate joins you there.
Very good, my lord.
An envoy. I'm not sure I'm the man to talk anyone round. I can barely convince my brother to take his medicine. Someone like Quentin. I hope I can convince him.
Are you buying or selling? Of course. Anything else? Come again.
My lord. I am Goditha, retainer of House Rosfield. Your father, the Archduke Elwyn, entrusted me...
Lift up your head, you have our gratitude.
I merely did my duty.
My lady.
What exactly...
As I'm sure you know, it has long been the custom for the...
Indeed it has.
And had he lived to see it, he would have presented you with the treasures I bear. Alas, he did not live. He had intended to claim the Heartstone with which each armband was to be finished himself, but it was not to be.
I see.
It saddens me to bring... It was your father's wish that you be presented with the finished articles, but with his grace long since gone. And this, you are grown men, and while I would not presume to insist upon your claiming the... I know that nothing...
Thank you.
What say you, Clive?
What else? Of course, my lady.
Oh, I am...
Do you know where we might find this?
I do. It is found in the bellies of elder... We do at least know where to find one. A certain You are most perceptive, your grace. In fact, this is the very same beast your father meant to... Were you to slay it in his stead, as men of House Rosfield?
What say you?
What else? Titan's Wake is to the south of here. But we must not be hasty. The good lady has been disappointed once already.
Eyes peeled, Joshua.
There it is.
The house across Rossfield. Is this the Heartstone?
I expect Lady Godotha will know.
The griffin is...
And the Heartstone.
Yes. This radiant luster like frozen flame. Thank you, your father...
Lady Godotha.
Thank you, Cyril. If you would excuse me. The armbands are complete. Pray, take them. They are yours, after all. Heartstone is harder and more enduring than garnet, or even ruby. It symbolizes and the graven vines encircling the stone.
It's a message. Father, enemies who would thwart his vision.
And only if we stood together. As Phoenix and Shield. As brothers.
Indeed. But this was more. It was a promise.
Thank you for remaining the steadfast.
Forgive me, my lady. There is something I don't quite... The Undying told me that after Father died, Mother claimed all of them. Even if the armbands were incomplete, she would... So...
Because I was the keeper of the vault. Though I was but a lowly servant, of the deep love he had for... In the days before the disaster at Phoenix Gate, I discovered that the Duchess had... I tried to warn your father. When word of the fire reached Rosalith, I knew my time was short. So I took up the armband...
And thank the father.
Yet my duty to your father was incomplete. And so my pursuit continued. He informed me that His Grace's will had been recovered.
Lady Godotha, on behalf of my father...
As do I.
Thank you, Mike, for coming back to it.
The bands suit you well. It must be gratifying to finally
It is. And we thank you for the part you played, sir.
If you would permit me to play my part a little longer, let him see that you have received his...
I suppose it would be churlish not to. What do you say, Clive?
I think I was hoping to be able to offer him my...
Your father's helm is in... Since the day we recovered it, I prithee claim it. For it... And I do not doubt that your father would prefer it in...
Thank you, Cyril. Come on, Clive. He's waiting.
Good girl.
Unwavering will and an unbreakable bond. Do you really think we're strong enough?
To save the world? Of course. To overcome Father's political enemies. Of that I'm less certain. Especially knowing what we know now. What Mother was truly capable of. But perhaps these bands would have helped. Knowing he was with us would have made all the difference.
It's just back there. Father always fought for what he believed was right. It wasn't until that night at Phoenix Gate that I realized I had never fought for anything. I always had someone else to do the fighting for me.
No matter how fate conspired against him, he never lost heart, never looked back, never stopped fighting. To me, he was the greatest of men. And I've been trying to live up to his ideals ever since.
We all have, Clive. We all have. And we'll keep trying. Because that's what he would have wanted.
What he would have done himself. Even if it meant standing against the very gods in the heavens.
I shall be borrowing this, Father, if I may. That you might watch over us as we follow in your footsteps.
We won't lay you down.
Onward then.
Onward. To the end.
And to a new beginning.
If Joshua's worried about Jill... Joshua, I don't think I'd realized how different, but...
I suppose it's not.
She doesn't think she belongs.
And that's why we need to let her know that we still need her. But how to do that? When last...
Of course. Do you remember the time we accompanied Father and Jill and I broke from the procession?
To see this, it was the first time Father had allowed us. And when he realized you were missing, he had the entire...
In the rain. It was the Lord Commander who finally found us, and
then it seems you and Jill have...
Man's Hill.
Oh, true. Though I suspect it is also much changed.
You're saying I should go and scout the area?
I'm saying we should first go and see if... What?
Tell me this is...
Aw, you make it sound like I asked you to save the world or something.
Tell me this is all you need.
It's most of what I need. After you left, I went over the figures again, and I realised I'd forgotten a 1 and a 0.
And
a cogwheel. Just a tiny one. Though, that's the problem. Gears that small are a bastard to make, and I may have lost the one Blackthorn spent a fortnight toiling over.
wait, the children. Now that I think about it, they...
The young'uns? But why would they... I'll keep working on the model.
Has Midadol mentioned a new project yet?
Not exactly. Sid!
She wasn't. She's just busy working.
A new invention? Is it an egg?
Do you think she'll let us help?
That just so happens to be why I'm here. A brass gear. A tiny one. One that might fit on, say, a set of scales.
Oh, the one...
We saved it, just in case. It's in the bag of bits.
Since your lesson, we've been disassembling all the pieces that are left over.
That's... good to know.
Look! I found it! Is that all? Just the gear?
That's all for now.
Thanks, Sid.
Well?
They did.
Will it work?
What exactly are you going...
Only the most. The wings aren't going to move on their own. Well. That should do her. Here goes nothing. Titan's tits.
It wasn't supposed to fly, was it?
Of course it was supposed to fly. Wouldn't be much of an airship if it didn't. Honestly, these bloody engines are driving me mad. I was so sure this would be the day she soared. The Mithril engine was made to make dreams come true. But maybe this is one dream the world's better off without. Show folk how to take flying. It won't be long till they're raining death down on each other. People will lose their homes. Children, their mums and their dads. Like I lost mine.
I'm sorry.
So am I, Clive. So am I. Sorry that I have to choose. Do I follow my head, or do I follow my heart?
Good question. The first time I stood on the deck of your ship, felt the wind in my hair. It was like I was flying. But imagine how it would feel to actually do it.
My dad always said there were two ways of living life. Chasing a dream or shuffling to your grave. And he were right. Right about a lot of things. Not that I like to admit it. People need dreams to chase. Especially in a world like this. Right. When this is over, I'm gonna take all my mithril engines to Zemeckis and sling them over the edge. I won't have my dream end up turning into someone else's nightmare.
But all that hard work...
All that hard work will not be used for war, Jamie. But it isn't like it'll be gone. Tell me, Clive, have you ever been on a treasure hunt?
Not since Joshua and I were boys. Why do you ask?
Because I'm gonna bury the engine schematics and leave behind a little riddle telling people where to find them. A really hard one, so that only the most dedicated dreamers will ever be able to work it out. I can picture it now. Some daft general squinting at the words with a gormless expression on his mug. Like that one, yeah.
Right.
Of course, if I'm putting this engine at the end of a treasure hunt, I'll still need to make it a treasure worth hunting for. Won't be much of a prize if it couldn't even make a toy boat fly after all. My dad always said, dream big. But it ain't the size of a dream that's important, is it, Clive? Only that it's a good one. And I reckon I've got a fair few good uns left in me.
I'm sure you do. This is the place.
I'm sorry. We keep looking. Man's Hill cannot be the only...
Perhaps, but it's the only place I...
Then why not ask someone?
Someone at the back here. Let's hope one of the gardeners knows where to find snow daisies.
Say what you will.
What brings you down from the heaven?
I need you if Joshua and I are looking for a place where...
Snow daisies. Then you'll want somewhere not... I reckon Man's Hill. Both have similar climbs and the right elevation.
Right.
Did you learn where we might find...
The gardener here mentioned the royal...
the fields beyond Northreach. Well, I recalled that she kept the record of our trip, so I asked her if she'd perhaps noted anywhere that snow daisies...
Whose shores border the meadows. Quinton.
Do you now? Something tells me you'll be asking... Go on, then. You'd have me convince the chiefs and chamberlains of the realm that they should simply swallow their pride and do the one thing that has proved impossible for thousands of years. Was there anything else? Perhaps I can fetch you a meat pie as well.
I know it's a lot to ask, but I can think of none better suited to the role.
And you'd have me give up what little I have left to do it. I told you, Clive. The people of Lostwing are my family, and I cannot abandon them. You'll have to find someone else.
I'm sorry to hear that.
So am I.
And why might that be?
What he's asking. How's it any different to what you've done so far? They want you to speak for those who can't speak for themselves. That's what you do best. If it's the vineyard you're worried about, we'll see that the grapes are picked and the tons filled. You know we will.
It's not that.
Then what is it?
You know that.
Then what are you? That only we... Why turn your back on everyone else? Who's to say you couldn't convince...
A stirring argument. I fear that any rejoinder I make might fall somewhat...
So you'll join us? Field Marshal Havel will want to speak with you in... I can arrange for a party of Cursebrick.
That would be very... I hear the roads are far...
My uncle will want to know that his plan is taking shape.
And how might I help the garrison today?
The Duke has pledged to work with the people of Northreach to rebuild.
The meadows are vast. Where do we even start?
Yote mentioned the coastline. We can start there.
friends. What do you see, boy?
Let's hope this is the last one.
Only one way to find out.
That was harder than I expected. But Founder, It was worth it. They're beautiful.
Do you think Jill will like them?
She'll love them. Come on. Let's go.
It appears my work is done. The rest, as they say, is up to you. Well, you and the skies. We wouldn't want another thunderstorm now, would we?
Uncle, the Field Marshal.
Of course.
Rutherford is accompanying him back to your manor in Port. They will await your return there.
One other?
Lord Havel was concerned that even if he could get the realm's armies to agree, he asked if I might have a solution.
One no.
Master Quinton would probably...
Another out. Just the thing we need to put these good-thinking class...
I'm glad you approve.
The more the merrier.
Uncle, assuming Havel and Quinton can... You still haven't mentioned how we might...
Oh, don't. The Seven High. They have all agreed to make the most... Oh, of course, it did take... But luckily I had...
From who?
Why, you, my boy. Rumor has it that you rescued the Lady Ariane's...
It was more of a...
Well, the old... She had a shipload of talents delivered to my private docks, and when the other houses saw the parsimonious old crone's purse strings finally loosen, they as good as tripped over themselves. Now, join us there at your earliest convenience.
Of course.
And how, pray tell, will we get that grain to the capital if the road just...
You'll find another bloody road. I only have so many men. That is, unless you'd have...
Well, I'd certainly eat less.
Says the man with a belly bigger than it. My soldiers actually need their rations. They'll be dead even before...
Perhaps I might suggest, though supply routes are indeed disrupted, there is no shortage of ships. Indeed, they bob away in every bay from... Allow them to make port and fill their bellies full of grain. And once those who crowd the cities are fed, ferry the... But I'm sure that you wish to continue your two such firm friends as yourself. Rutherford spoke fondly of the great...
Us? I can't... Clive, I'm beginning to question the quality...
And what kind of company were you expecting?
Criminal? You are not fit to breathe the same air as this...
Upstanding!
Once more onto the breach.
Shall we begin again? What we seek here is not to create a new nation. We wish simply to bring stability to the realm, and to do that we must convince those in power that there will be disagreements, yes. And I imagine some... If we show them the path, show them that we walk it ourselves. The fate of the world lies in mine, but the well-being of her people lies in ours.
Uncle Byron.
Now, with that settled, for what great moment in history hasn't... Citizens of Valisthea! Well, my boy.
That it is.
This is the role you were born for. We shall play our parts to the best of our abilities. The realm needs its Sacrandal. And there is no... I want you to keep this signed accord.
I will.
What do you think that thing
Jill.
There is?
It's, how would you fancy a trip to...
There are so many. This is what you wanted to show me. I don't know what to say.
You don't need to say anything. The smile on your face is enough. We've been worried about you. Joshua and I. Do you remember when I took you to Man's Hill? Or... tried to?
How could I forget? You saw me crying and thought a change of scenery might lift my spirits. In the end, it earned me a nasty cough and a stern scolding from your mother. But I felt wonderful nonetheless.
I'm sorry. I had no idea what I was getting us both into. But I couldn't bear to see you like that.
Before we left, my chambermaid told me she'd overheard your mother talking about my marriage prospects with some of the noblewomen at court. They were debating whether it would be more profitable to marry me off to one of the high houses instead of saving me for the ducal line. No one thought to ask me what I wanted. I was nothing to them. A pawn at best. I felt so trapped. So lonely.
I didn't know.
But I wasn't alone. You were there. Your hand in mine as we ran for those oaks. And I knew then, no matter what happened, I would be all right. I'll never forget that feeling. Before we broke camp, the morning after the storm, do you know what I did?
No? What?
I slipped away from my governess to climb the tor. And from there I saw a sea of petals, all reaching for the sun. And I realized that no matter how terrible the night, dawn would always come. That you would always come for me. And you have. Again and again.
Where do you see us? When all this is over?
I don't know. here, though. I think I've outgrown the twins. After everything we've been through, the realm just seems so small. I'll need some space to spread my wings.
Then that's what you'll have. And I'll stop at nothing to see that you do.
I never was much good at garlands, but it'll have to do.
I'll treasure it forever.
Thank you, Clive. For this, the flowers, for everything. It's exactly what I needed. You are my treasure. We should probably be getting back. I expect the others are wondering where we are.
You're right. There's still much to do.
And we'll do it together.
this be Mickelberg?
These people aren't turned. And the village seems safe enough at least. What is going on here?
Ah. Did you, too, heed the call?
Heed the call? No, I came here looking for someone. To be honest, I wasn't sure I'd find him here. Let alone all of you.
Is that so?
What are you doing here? Is this where you live?
It is my home. The others, they heeded the call.
You keep saying that. What do you mean?
They came here to perform the rite, just as King Barnabas instructed. This village is their altar, where they shall cast their souls upon the gentle waters and give themselves to the Lord.
Give themselves?
Oh, Lord, cleanse us of our sins.
Let us be reborn in your loving arms.
Free us from the torment of this mortal realm.
They want to be saved. Forgive me, but did another foreigner like me come here? He was probably wearing a cowl.
You mean the traveler from Storm? Yes. He's staying at my house, toward the rear of the village.
Thank you. If you don't mind, I'll go and greet him.
They seek the same salvation Barnabas did. At least the third chair still lives. Let's go and find him.
Excuse me. Are you with the Undying?
I am. And so it would appear, are you? Lord Rosfield, if I am not mistaken.
That's right. And you must be the third chair.
I am.
Cyril was worried for your safety. He sent me to find you.
Then I must apologize. I did not mean to trouble the bearer of the burning quill, much less you, my Lord Marquis.
You said that you had failed to report. Is there a reason for that?
I came here to study the followers of this new faith. But the more I learned of them, the more my own faith began to falter. You have seen them at their prayers, have you not? They devote themselves to the veneration of their Lord with a fervor I have never seen before. Praying night and day that they might be rid of their wicked wills and reborn in their Saviour's light. Not that they might be granted respite from their worldly woes, but so that they might continue to serve him. Serve him with all of their beings. I, too, swore to devote my life to the service of my Lord and Master, but this... 'tis different. It is more. And so I would see it through to the end. See these people safe, that they might achieve their dream. That they might do their duty to their Lord. Even if it should keep me from doing my duty to mine.
You do understand what their dream is, don't you?
I do, my lord. They would cast aside their wills and become a Kashik. I know that it may be hard to believe, but to these people, that is the very essence of salvation. Forgive me, my lord, but I must remain here. If you are to return to Master Cyril, I would consider it a great... Did you hear that, my lord? Something is happening.
I'll go and find out what. Stay here. Beneath the flood. There must be something I can do. Echoes as well. Found her.
Ready, brother?
Ready.
Stay down!
What now? We meet again. I've killed your kind before. it! Don't you die. Come on, speak to me.
I had to save them, that they might have a chance to find true salvation. By devoting themselves to the service of their Lord. Just as I did when the Undying plucked me from the gutter and gave me a cause to believe in. A duty to serve was everything to me, and I would not deny them that fulfillment, even if they must become a Kashik in order to achieve it. Forgive me, my Lord Marquis. I did not mean to trouble you with this. My findings. Could you deliver them to Master Cyril for me?
Of course. Your duty will be done.
Look, my lord. They are saved.
They are saved. Found her. I should get this report to Cyril.
My Lord Marquis, welcome back. I'm glad.
I met with your third chair, Cyril.
Thank you. He remained in Ash?
He died protecting the village. I buried him in...
If you could not...
The villagers, they prayed to their god that they might be... Then an ether flood came. Your brother sacrificed him, even knowing that life...
Then he perished defending... For the right to choose how one dies.
Sid would agree.
A noble ambition. It matters not how misguided others, only that we live according to the teachings of our order, for better or worse.
But he didn't die for your creed, and you still believe that...
I believe we of the Undying are not slaves, and this was his will.
I'd like to know this, to know the names of all the Undying who fall. They died serving my house. That is my...
Of course, I shall fetch the book of my lord. The greatest honor of my... Though our duties may differ, and were they here, I have no doubt.
Trouble with your gear, or... What's Sancfordian, dear? Should last you a good while. That it? Fine.